Hi everyone. So on my way to the gym again. Less than 2 weeks to my departure to the Philippines. Today I want to talk about a topic that I've been thinking about lately. And this is should you get married to a Filipina if you are in a long-term relationship? And I'll start by giving out my answer. Maybe you might disagree, but I do believe that some people will agree that you should really think hard before making this kind of decision. And I think that we got a few notable examples or demonstrations to what rush into a marriage, into the wedlock after having a relationship with a Filipina. I mean, without apparently, it seems like without giving it enough time to really test the waters in the relationship before the marriage, what it can lead to. And what I mean by that is a couple of YouTubers whose relationships apparently didn't work out the way they expected. And the difference between the ones who were married and the ones who were not married. It seems like the ones who were married, the whole process was more complicated, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, right? This is why they have marriages in the first place, to make everything more complicated in case you want to break things apart, so that you think 10 times before you actually do that. And they always say that you should try and learn from the experience of other people. And I think that I try to apply this kind of thinking in life in general, but especially in this context. Because it's really easy to rush into anything and say, yeah, we have been in this relationship for so long and everything is working fine, we really enjoy the company of each other, so let's just get married. But if I'm being honest, what do you achieve by that, right? What actually changes? And the way I see it, nothing much. Nothing is going to fundamentally change, but it can change the dynamic, because once you are married, it seems like things are now permanent. It's not going to be that easy for the other side to just walk away from it. And I think that it's not always for the good, because as long as you know that you have to work hard to maintain the relationship, sometimes the relationship benefits from it. And once everything is guaranteed, and you know that I took away the power from the other person to break things apart, is now tied down, what motive does he have now to keep things in good order? I mean, all of us, we are driven by motivation. Once you take the motivation away, the outcome, chances are that the outcome will be inferior, right? So given the experience of other people and the difficulties they faced due to the hardships that come along with breaking a marriage, and on the other hand, just trying to use common sense and getting to the conclusion that it might actually hurt the relationship, I am not going to rush into marriage anytime soon. Never say never, right? They say never say never. So I'm not saying never. But on the other hand, I think that you can have a very good long-term relationship that both parties involved benefit from and enjoy, and it can be just as good as a marriage. Now, if you are looking at the entire thing from a very religious point of view, then maybe it does change the picture. Maybe things, right, it shifts your entire point of view, and you might reach different conclusions. But for me, religion doesn't play a big role in any decision, let alone marriage. So yeah, this is how I see it. Now, would my Filipina girlfriend change my point of view if she could? Absolutely. I'm pretty sure she would. But then again, she can't. Right? So it's something that we have to deal with, right? None of us is ever going to get everything they want. Am I cruel and cynical? I don't think so. Because it doesn't mean that I'm just going to do everything the way I want and not take her opinions and needs and wants into consideration. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that I want to deal with her and not with the state, not with the country, not with the law. This is the difference, the way I see it, right? Once you do get married, you're not dealing with the other person directly anymore. They have an entire net that's there to protect them, that's there to make their relationship harder to break. And it lifts some of the responsibility from their shoulders. And I don't want that. I'll give you an example. Going to the gym, the way I'm going right now. This is something I give a lot of significance to. I really consider it important. And I know that some people enjoy it better than others, but I think that it is part of our responsibility to ourselves, to our health and body, and also to our partner, right? If we in a relationship with someone else, it's more enjoyable, it's nicer to look at someone who maintains their body, who takes good care of the way they look. Now, it's easy to fall into this trap of, okay, I'm now married, I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then it's much easier. It's a slope that can lead you to neglect, which is something we don't want. So, am I using the absence of marriage as a motivation to go to the gym? Maybe a little bit in a way. And I don't consider it a bad thing. I actually think it makes sense. Because it's your responsibility and you are going to work harder to keep in good order what you already have. So yeah, this is my take on it. I know that it might come across as cynical to some people, but I don't think so. I mean, yes, of course, we need morals, right? If you were in a relationship with another person for a long time, and you are not legally obligated, but you shared a lot of experiences with them, a lot of time with them, they helped you in more than one way, and now let's say that they get sick. Are you going to stick together Are you going to hold on to the relationship and help them through the hard times? And my answer would be that it boils down to your morals. And the wedlock wouldn't really change anything, because if your goal is to run away the moment things get choppy, you will find the way to do that, even if you are married. And I know that I'm not going to do that. So why do I need the wedding in the first place? Yeah, anyway, just want to share my take on it. It is something that I've been thinking about lately, and just want to share it. So thanks for listening, and see you next time. Bye bye.